Hi, I'm Lucas.
And I'm Dominic.
And you're watching the spoiler talk on Avengers Endgame.
So if you haven't seen the movie yet, away, you have been warned.
So first off, I want to say 3 hours is a long freaking time. It was a good movie. I'm just going to give it that. I enjoyed it. It's what I was expecting. It's a fan pleaser.
Oh yeah.
But it's 3 hours, and I haven't sat through a 3-hour movie at a movie theater in such a long time. With that, the beginning of the movie kind of felt weird to me. Tony Stark got saved out of nowhere. Like he was in a spaceship with Gamora. Is it? It's not Gamora.
No, it's not Gamora. It's Nebula.
It's Nebula. Sorry.
Karen Gillian from Doctor Who. How the fuck did Captain Marvel find them?
I'm
guessing was it his transmissions to Pepper? Because if that was the case, he'd been sending transmissions this whole time, so you'd think that they'd get the memo after a month of him being just kind of like lost in space, floating, dying.
I don't know, but it just felt like really rushed, and especially, like I said, for a 3-hour movie with so much packed in, like why rush that? I don't know.
And I thought that was the moment where I was really, really excited because I was like, okay, so the rest of this movie, especially because of the way they were setting it up after like the little 5 years later introduction where they were kind of reintroducing, okay, here's what these characters have been up to, here's what they're like after all this trauma. Tony's got a family and he makes a great dad, which is the most shocking thing in this movie. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's the biggest twist is that, hey, he's raising that kid and he's raising her well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, see, the big thing is that Thanos, right before he got his head just decapitated, just sliced clean off, he kept talking about how like, oh, I've reduced them to the size of atoms. So I was expecting Ant-Man to just like hunt the Earth for the little atomic particles of the stones like floating around in the air.
But no.
No, that's not what happens. Instead...
So after Thanos gets his head chopped off by Thor, saying, I got the head this time. It says 5 years later, the world is in complete ruins, and for the most part, some people have moved on with their lives. Like Tony Stark, I think he moved on with his life, but still has that little guilt in there. But
it's slight though, because I feel like the love he has for that kid outweighs the guilt.
I feel like he's happier. I think he should stay that way.
Leave it to someone that selfish to put the life of one person above the billions who got snapped away.
Yeah, exactly. And so we got that. And then it seems all hope is lost, But then Ant-Man comes back. And how does he come back from the quantum realm?
Drum roll, please. It's a rat!
A rat accidentally pushes a button, and Ant-Man appears.
Mm-hmm. The whole universe was essentially saved by a rodent.
So that rat is the hero of the MCU universe.
This is the flush away sequel that we didn't know we needed, but we definitely deserve.
That aside, the point I want to jump to next is time travel. So they do the time traveling, and they decide to go through parts of old movies. The very first Avengers, Thor: Dark World, and the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can see what they were trying to explain it with when Tilda Swinton's monk character came in and was like, okay, so it doesn't just change your timeline, it creates a diverging one. Hold on, I think I might have missed something in some of the previous movies, but how did Captain America manage to wield Thor's hammer?
See, that's another thing. And Thor said he knew it.
Yeah, but how?
I don't think we're ever gonna know how. Does he have some sort of the godlike powers?
No, he just has a lot of adamantium coursing through his veins, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so yeah, Captain America can handle Thor's hammer now, just like Vision did. So anyway, everything looks defeated again, just like there's no hope, like Infinity War, when Thanos brings all his warmongers and his sidemen and basically the end of the world again. But then, it happens. The moment everyone has been waiting for. Literally, well, first it was, who was it? It was Black Panther that showed up first. He came back from
because it was really cool because you just see each of the portals open and you think at first it's just going to be one, but I mean you don't actually think it's just going to be one. That's when they start pouring in. Once you see T'Challa emerge and he's just like, hey, what's up? I'm here to fight. Yeah. You kind of expect everyone else to follow suit, and then they do. It's pretty cool.
Everybody. That's literally had any concession with this superhero nonsense in MCU comes together, and the all-out war, the true Infinity War starts, because this is actually a war battle right now. Everybody who is in all Avengers are in it right now. This is it. They go at it. There's fight scenes after fight scenes after fight scenes.
And you can't see anything because there's just dust everywhere.
Yeah, there's dust everywhere. It's awesome. I'm not gonna say it wasn't awesome because it was pretty awesome.
I will debate that another time.
Yeah, another time. Okay, I think it was personally, like, of course, like each character couldn't have that much screen time because there's so many characters at one time. It was insane, but awesome at the same time, in my opinion. Awesome at the same time. So yeah, they go on a full-out 15-minute battle. You know, Captain Marvel finally shows up.
Yeah.
Since disappearing from the beginning of the movie. Forgot about to talk about Captain Marvel, but who cares? She felt irrelevant to the first, 2 hours and 30 minutes of the movie.
She destroys a whole ship though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
she destroyed a whole ship.
Everyone was thinking that Captain Marvel would be the one who would defeat Thanos.
No. She did
some badass shit though.
She did. She destroyed a ship. And so anyway, the battle happens. Everyone's just beating the shit out of each other, and Iron Man, Tony Stark, is looking at Doctor Strange, wondering what that one outcome was that everyone survives. And from what I guessed, this is what I guessed from Infinity War, looking at that moment between Doctor Strange and Iron Man, saying that was the only way. Iron Man gets the gauntlet, and he snaps his fingers. And all of Thanos' goons,
alien buddies.
They go into dust like everyone else did in Infinity War. As he sits down, contemplating his life choices, Thanos fades away. But then, Tony Stark dies. Iron Man is dead.
I thought they were going to do something even more messed up, personally, because it seemed like he was going to be brain dead. Like, he's still alive, he's still technically breathing, but he can't communicate, he can't speak, he can barely move, he can only kind of move his eyes. If they made that his fate, that would actually, in my opinion, be a little bit more tragic, because that's a man who is defined by his brain. So when you take that away, what do you have?
Okay.
A shell of a man.
It's a heartfelt moment. All the Avengers get together to celebrate his life, and his daughter is upset, and Jon Favreau, happy, comes back. His daughter says he wants... Not very happy anymore. While everyone's celebrating the new life, the very last thing they have to do is return the Infinity Stones to the rightful spots, which brings up more plot holes. But Captain America returns all the Infinity Stones, but when Hulk tries to bring him back, he doesn't return. But then they look at an old man sitting on a bench, and there's Captain America as an old man. He decided to stay back in time.
Which is really, really fucking stupid. Because if he goes back in time and does not become Captain America, how the hell is New York saved? How do the Avengers form? There's so many questions that are left. How does the SHIELD even exist? I understand that was probably just a part of, some sort of government secret project or whatever, but if Captain America didn't exist, I think it's safe to say that the plots of these movies would all be drastically different.
But they don't want you to think about it. They just want you to think, oh, he finally got to be with the person he loved. And plot points aside, it ends, by the way. That's how it ends. And there's no after credits scene, so don't even waste your time staying after credits, because there's no after credits scene. I found the movie to be a crowd pleaser. I think people are going to be happy with it. There's going to be people who are not happy with it, of course. There's always half and half. But I found it like a crowd pleaser movie. And I give it about an 8 out of 10, which is a step down from Infinity War, but I enjoyed it. It's just the length was probably the worst part of it. In my opinion, the length of it, I just couldn't sit through it.
My rating on this, I also think it's a slight step down from Infinity War, which I had around a 7, and I still kind of want to keep around a 7.
So if you enjoyed our spoiler review of Avengers Endgame, please hit that like button and subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to see more content from Coog TV, go to coogtv.com. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Dominic.
And I am signing off for the last time.